This is a 2000 GMC Sierra, two-wheel drive. It's a 4.8 liter. I was changing the oil and I found the oil was an odd color, so I thought, okay, I'm going to check into it. I've ran into some of these in the past. I actually just finished doing a 5.3 liter that had the same issue, and what it was a cracked head. There's a certain casting number. What I am is I'm actually on the passenger side, and as I scan in, and if you kind of get right in on the head, once I find it, there it is, you can see a little casting number 706. That 706 is a casting where it's pretty common for the heads to crack. This engine happens to have that casting number, so I suspect that's the issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of wander over to my oil pan, and if you take a look at the oil pan, the coloring is not very good. Can I actually zoom in or zoom out? And it's kind of a chocolate milk color. It's not a good sign. So the next thing that I chose to do was I went and I pulled the valve cover off on the driver's side. To pull the valve cover off is pretty quick and easy. There's what you do is you have to actually undo a lot of the clips, and then there's the coil pack that sits on top. You just undo the 5 bolts that hold it. You undo the plugs where it plugs into where the spark plugs plug in, and then you also remove the plugs that go into, like the electrical plugs that go into the top of the coil pack. Once you remove those 5 little studs, the whole coil pack comes off, and then once the whole coil pack's off, there's only 4 bolts that actually hold the valve cover on, so you can actually undo, and it comes off pretty easy. So here's my valve cover. You can actually kind of see that it's kind of got this gooey, kind of got a gooey film on the inside here. That's a bad sign. That actually tells me that it is getting coolant into the oil, and it's actually mixing, and looks like the moisture's evaporating off, but it's actually leaving the goo behind. So I think I have the same issue. On the other side here, you can see the 4 bolts that actually hold the valve cover on. And so that looks like that's my issue, so I'm just going to do some more investigation. But that is what you can do if you find that if your oil is not quite the right color when you drain it. Yeah, you just pull the valve cover off, you take a quick look for the goo inside of the valve cover, because normally inside of the valve cover it's more of a black, almost a sooty color, and because of the color in this, I know there's an issue.